Good evening. What's good, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Anime Tofu, where we party up, fight through the world of anime, deal crazy amounts of DPS, because it's just what we do. And we're really like that. We are your big three. Don't forget, because we have it. The world of, I am your host and damage dealer, Methodical One, here with my homeboy and co-host, who actually normally plays this class in real life as the tank, Justin, 100%. Mr. Longbeard. How you doing, sir?
Man, it's good to see you, bro. Don't be that damage dealer that stands in the fire, you know?
I'm Leroy Jenkins out here. You are straight out into the fire. I'm trying to play again. I'm trying to beat somebody. I'm trying to throw hands, man. That's where we at. And if y'all notice, no, BJ hasn't gotten cuter. That's not what's
definitely
happening. Not. He is our homeboy is on vacation. Hopefully, he is having fun and enjoying his time with his family. So we have a wonderful guest in our party. He is our bard, special guest, entertaining, party buffing, Mr. Blake
Hi, I'm Lockman, coming at you from Optic Blast Broadcast. Hey, thanks. I finally made it. I know I've made it now. I'm on Anime Tofu. I've guest starred on other podcasts, but coming on Anime Tofu is the icing on the cake. And I like the bard shout out. I'd definitely be the bard. I got a ukulele around here somewhere.
For you all who haven't ever watched Optic Blast, it's absolutely phenomenal. This man knows his stuff. So y'all make sure y'all check it out. We appreciate you being here this week. Last week we had Button. It's kind of nice to have some guests, you know.
Dude, you're like the staple of the show, bro, because like you've got two totally different people this time around. So hey.
It's wild when the black man's here every week. You would think that sometimes I would need a break, but no, I actually really enjoy this show. You know, one of the great things about this show is that you all have rekindled my love for anime that, you know, I had lost, because for a while, I mean, since the reemergence of the My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan, man, anime was kind of dry. Like, it all seemed to be rehashes, and now it doesn't seem that way. It's really exciting. So I'm always happy to be here, and if I can make it, I will definitely try to make it. For that fact of the matter. And then there's guests. I like to be here when there's guests here. We get, Mr. Lockman down there, so I'm excited about that. Also, welcoming back. We must welcome back Mr. Longbeard. He was gone for a couple of weeks. Congratulations, sir. We're very, very proud of you.
Man, I appreciate that.
Becoming a dad again.
Yeah, dude, starting all over,
That's right.
I all my kids could clothe themselves and, fix themselves food, and now I'm starting over. So here we are.
That's right.
It's awesome, though. I'm excited. Arwen Faye, bro. She got a nerdy name. So a beautiful nerdy name.
It tells you where this group is all the time.
Yep.
And we're okay with it. And we've always been that way. But we're always like the cool nerds. It's really weird because when people look at us, they're like, you all are nerds? And you're like, yeah. Well, you don't fit the typical, aspect. I'm like, oh, because we shower? Like, what does that mean? And they just like, it seems like you're cooler than that. And I'm like, nerds are cool, man. Y'all weird. That's just that's always been a weird trope to me, that nerds aren't cool. Nerds and everybody who's anybody, and especially for us all being musicians in this current area, most of them are nerds.
Absolutely.
Your favorite rappers, nerds. Your favorite rockers are nerd. Like even y'all's favorite. It's coming out that your favorite actors and actresses are also nerds. So why are y'all surprised?
Your favorite NFL players are nerds. Come on.
Yep. You're right.
So half the Olympians were nerds. There were so many. We talked about that last time I was on. So
that was great. It was great.
Yeah, all the money made in Hollywood, superhero movies. Nerds.
Right. Our books are based on books. All them Disney movies that y'all love was based on books from 100 years ago, man. Like, it ain't nothing new.
True.
So, I mean, hey, we're here, and we're here to take over the world. I mean, we already own the world. I guess the most powerful people in the world are nerds. I mean, Jeff Bezos and that guy who runs Tesla. You know,
Elon.
it's like the one that's like Lex Luthor. But that's another conversation.
Or
So,
Tony Stark.
yeah, there you go.
True.
So, I mean, we're moving right into it. So, we're gonna talk to our guest. We're gonna have our guest introduce himself, and then we're gonna go through a couple things because we want to learn some stuff about him, just in case you Tofu'ers don't watch Optic Blast. Tis, tis, tis. After today, you will though. So, Mr. Lockman, go ahead. Give yourself a shout out, man. Tell us a little bit about you.
Hey, yeah, I'm Lockman. I'm with Optic Blast Broadcast. If you don't know what we are the comic book news segment, or the comic book section of the Hipster Goblin Media Triforce, as we call it. So we handle all your comic news. We're like the comic book movies, comic books in general, animated shows, toys. We have a section called Toy Time. We do all sorts of fun stuff like that. So you're into comic books, you like Marvel, you like DC, you like Image. It doesn't really matter which one you like. Me and Dilly P, we work together and we put together a show for you. We got a new episode coming out. Probably by the time this comes out, it'll be out. It's about Nightwing. We love Nightwing, so we just freshly got off recording that. So yeah, that's Optic Blast Broadcast, man. We're named after Cyclops' main move in X-Men. And we love X-Men, Batman, all that stuff. So anything comic book related, Optic Blast Broadcast is here as like your entry level. We're kind of casual about it. I'm an old school comic book kid that grew up in the 90s with those comics that kind of set the era. And Dylan's a younger guy, like Gen Z, who's getting into comics now after growing up in the movies. And so we kind of work together to make the platform that is Optic Blast Broadcast, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I like it. Now, with that, there's something that popped into my head, and I have a question. Illy P, huh? This sounds like, how did he get his name? Well, he had this thing to where he used to eat the little dilly bars from
I don't know why he calls
Dairy Queen, bro. He just had to have one every day, so we named him Dilly P.
Hey, he's got all kinds of names. I name him something literally different every episode, and I don't know if he's caught on to that yet. But like every time we kick on it, and now after he watches this, he will. And if he doesn't say anything, then we know he didn't watch this, right? I call him something like the other episode. I call him Dylan Olsen. This episode, I called him the Boy Wonder. Like I call him a different name every time, but a lot of times it's Dilly P. That's just where it lands. I don't know why.
On the Nerdy Reads podcast, he's known as Sweet Baby Dylan.
Sweet Baby Dylan. And now the Sweet Baby Dylan.
So basically, what you all are saying is, no matter what happens, Dylan, you're always going to be Robin to anybody
until he becomes his own Nightwing. Yes,
it'll happen for him.
That's hilarious. Y'all say that, but it never happened for Robert Jenkins. So I don't know, man. I don't know. So okay, there was one. We'll ask you a couple of questions. So these, I'm gonna ask 3 questions that pertain particularly to your realm of knowledge. So the first thing is, since you're old school, what is your favorite? Who is your favorite comic book company? Is DC? Is it Marvel? Is it Image? Is it somebody we're not talking about?
Yeah, no, man, absolutely. I have to go Marvel all the way, baby. I'm a Marvel. I love Marvel. X-Men got me into comics. While I always say it like this. I love Marvel comics. That's my home. I like DC when it pertains to the Batman universe. Other than that, like Superman and Batman, I'm into that stuff. But like a lot of the stuff in DC, it's okay. But like my main thing is Marvel. But I do love Superman and Batman, and I like those universes. But that's about it.
You know, that was pretty much the same. That's my same aspect too. It was always Batman and Superman, particularly Batman, and that's just because Batman's villains are so iconic.
Rogues Gallery, dude, they're awesome.
Right, and Superman's are okay, but you know that whole hey, I'm the nicest guy on the planet. That's just kind of weird. But you know, when DC, I became a little bit more of a fan, even though they were Image comics. When DC ended up buying like Wildcats, and they bought somebody else too, that were like one of the original Image comics. Because I was a big Image comic fan too when they came up, because those were some of my favorite artists that moved from Marvel and DC to start Image. So, Spawn and the Wildcats and Danger Girl, and there's the Max. I don't know if y'all remember that. That was with the Max with the big dude with the
big purple dude with the yellow claws. Yeah, I know the Max. Yeah.
So
Jim Lee is my favorite artist of all time.
Big fact.
And Jim Lee, when he branched out and was like, you know what, we're gonna go make Wildcats. We're gonna go off and form our own company. That took a lot of guts, dude, to step away out of the shadow of Marvel and do that. And more props to the dude for doing it. And now he's doing whatever he wants to do. He's Jim Lee.
Right. But I mean, his run, and even because they just redid that. They just re-released. I guess they re-released that comic book from the very first. And what was that? 91 when he did the cover of X-Men. That's like one of my favorite comic book covers of all time.
Still the greatest selling comic of all time.
Yep, that's wild.
X-Men.
I own like 6 copies of that. I know I own 6 copies of that in my life.
As a kid, I got multiple copies and I pulled them out because you could fold them out into a poster, and I had it up on my wall. It was that was it. That was what got me into comics, was that comic book and that series, because it had an animated series on. Mm-hmm. So to me, all comics need to look like Jim Lee. And if they don't, I'm like, that's okay. But
the art doesn't just don't. Yeah. I get you. Because I was a big fan, and that was that's really what got me. That may not have been my first comic, but that's the first comic that I really, really remember and feel like, wow, this is amazing. And it made me want to be a comic book artist at one point in time. So that's awesome. Okay. Now, so we're still talking comics. Favorite superhero or superhero team, either or villain. It ain't necessarily got to be a superhero.
Well, so X-Men will be the team. This, like I said, they're responsible for getting me in. Solo hero, though, man, dude, I'd probably have to say that's a tough one, but I'd probably have to give it to Batman. I mean, there's just so much in his universe I can tie up if I just throw him in the mix. Because I love Nightwing, Batman, the whole Bat family, all that. So probably Batman. Runner up is Daredevil, though. Daredevil's that dude. I like Daredevil too. So, but
it's legit.
Great choice. It's great choices. Let me see. Thought I had one more. Okay. And I know this is a large encompassing number of things. Greatest comic book film to you. It can be animated, or it cannot be animated.
My goodness, bro.
That's a tough one there, bro.
It's rough. I know.
He didn't even feed you these questions ahead of time for you.
I know. I'm trying here, but
I know. I'm putting him on the seat of his pants. And it's wild.
Bro. That's a tough one.
With us being older,
there's so much out there, dude.
I know. With us being older, we got the Batman Returns and the original Batman and the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like,
there's just so many options. Off the top, I mean, if I sat down and thought about it longer, I'd probably come up with something else. But I'm gonna probably say like the best adaptation. Like you look at the comic, you look at the movie, which one matches up the best? I'm probably gonna have to say the Ninja Turtles movie from 1990, the original Ninja Turtles movie.
That's
it's like page for page, turn for turn. Like they just literally brought that to life. And I think that's what a lot of these things miss. They try to go make their own stories or make their own adventures or make their own, like, well, this is kind of like the comic, but the comic is popular for a reason. Like they stuck straight to the script pretty much. And I love that. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. I can quote the entire thing to this day. I can quote that movie.
Wise man say never pay full price for late pizza. That's
right.
Hey, man.
Exactly.
Greatest lines ever. So yeah. And I definitely agree with you. The only film that I can think of that's almost like, literally 75% of that movie is directly out of the comic book is The Watchmen. And a lot of people have problems with the ending, but I actually like the ending a lot more because the Watchmen kind of got bogged down in the weirdness of its ending, and the movie actually made it a little bit more, normal.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. That's been my hot take on that movie since it came out with all my comic book friends. They all scream the comic book's better, but I'm like, actually, if you're telling a story to a broad audience, the ending of the movie is a better ending. The ending to the Watchmen comic's always been kind of weak to me. Great story. You go through the whole story and it's so good, and you get to the very end, you're like, he didn't really know where to go, did he? You know?
Yeah, it's like the goofiest. It's the goofiest thing that you could think of. It was really weird, but I get it. And it wouldn't have worked when we saw the movie anyway, because the Cold War wasn't going on. So it didn't. Did you watch the TV show that preceded it, the one that was on HBO?
No, I haven't seen that.
It is phenomenal.
Really? Okay.
I stand by it. The acting is A1. Don't watch it around your kids because it's pretty Watchmen-y. But
it is the Watchmen after all. Yeah,
it's really good. It was actually really, really good. All right, so let's get to some other questions. Let's get to some Anime Tofu questions since we're drilling them today. Pause.
You said that, bro. I was like,
pause.
Hey.
Pause. You say I went for it.
There's always at least one or two pauses in every episode of Anime Tofu.
So we here at Anime Tofu do definitely hope to see you back and be kind of a regular. So we got to ask you, what's your favorite anime right out the gate? What's your favorite?
All right, so that the favorite anime question is like, you mean overall, right? Like in general. Dragon Ball Z, bro. That's the one. Yeah. Dragon Ball Z is the one. I know it's like a popular answer or whatever, but that's it. I mean, that got me. Akira got me into anime. First anime I ever saw was Akira. It was a Sci-Fi Channel Friday night special. Akira showed. I didn't know what I was watching, but I was a kid. I was like 12 or 13, and the taillights burning out as they were doing their motorcycle run, and he hits that clown with the pipe, and I was like, what is this? And it blew my mind. So I got total love for Akira. But series-wise, Dragon Ball Z, that's the staple. That's the home. I go back to it. I go home all the time. I'm always watching something Dragon Ball related in my house.
Mm-hmm. I feel like what you just said explained the three members of Anime Tofu, because I pretty much know way us as well. So like it's Akira, and then it's Dragon Ball Z, and then the rest of it. The Spirited Aways and the Princess Mononokes and the Perfect
Bebops.
My buddy got me this art piece for my birthday.
Ooh.
Oh, dude,
hanging up in the office.
That's amazing.
We share our love for Akira together. But yes, that's the hype. But yeah, there's all those movies that are great that do that. But yeah, dude, that's Dragon Ball's where it's at.
I respect your answer.
I do as well.
Much respect.
Me and Blake worked together for years, and that's all we would do is sit around and talk about Dragon Ball Z and talk different fights amongst Marvel characters.
Yeah, that's right.
Dragon Ball Z characters always win. It's just
dude. The comic book characters didn't have much of a chance with us. Where I was like, oh, the Flash, Krillin's got him. Like we were like,
they move faster than the speed of light, because the average person can't even see them fighting. I mean, you can tell when the Flash is around. You cannot tell when Goku and the rest of them are around. Dude, you won't know.
It's so fast, I can't even see them move. It's always look like side characters on the sideline.
I mean, once you get past the Saiyan saga,
it's over.
Goku pretty much can wax just about anybody in the comic.
And then it wasn't just Goku though. Vegeta could wax anybody. Like it got to the point where if it was one of them two, and at one point in time, Gohan was throwing hands with everybody. Yeah. Even Vegeta and Goku didn't want to see Gohan. And I still, in some way, shape, or form, believe that Gohan is probably the strongest of all the Z fighters.
Well, even in Super, they gave him some respect there at the end, because they were like, he still has that dormant power. He's still one of the strongest fighters out there. Right.
Because
he's trying to get him ready.
You remember when they said he became the Mystic Saiyan, they was like, there is no power level for him. Like there's an infinite pool of power. Right. Like, it was like he can just keep reaching and reaching and reaching. And,
something about that bloodline, like the human and Saiyan mix, too. Like they always said that, like, that was a super strong mix. But I think they kind of, on that one movie, what was it, Superhero? Remember he becomes Beast Gohan? Like, I think that right now is top tier in Dragon Ball lore. I don't know outside of Super, if that's like canon or not. I'm proton canon for comic books. I don't know about anime, but I think he's like one of the top tier things that Beast Gohan. I see it all over the place.
Was until I think they said the strongest member right now is it is Vegeta, because Vegeta did something, and it's like
a thing or something. I heard something called Ultra Ego. I don't know. I don't read the
Ultra Ego was that, but he formed his own version of Ultra Ego.
Oh, okay.
Well, he fought like it's like a second form of Ultra Ego, and right now nobody's as strong as Vegeta. Like he kind of made peace with being like the god of basically he's going to be the next god of destruction. They were, the whole thing about them fighting during the Super Saga was to find a Beerus replacement. And they're saying that basically it's going to be Vegeta, which I mean, we're not surprised, like in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. So, but like now they're saying nobody's stronger than he is. And like they said, like even Goku does. So maybe he'll hold that for a little while. Good for him. He deserves it.
Good for him.
Took him long enough,
But with that being said, shout out to my man Justin. Hey, bro, y'all ain't gonna do Piccolo like that. Y'all better figure something out. He better absorb somebody else or something. Like
Orange Piccolo is legit.
Orange Piccolo's legit, dude. I like that Orange Piccolo. That's really cool.
He throws down.
So I wanted to throw that in there. All right, so we're gonna go to the next question. What is your favorite video game series, either or?
Oh, just anything?
Let me anything.
The Batman Arkham games. That's my favorite. The whole Arkham series. I love all that stuff. You can actually be Batman. And a shout out to Arkham Origins, just because everybody always craps on that game. And I'm going to say it's a hot take, but I don't care. That's the strongest story of all of them. The story of Arkham Origins is a better Batman story than Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight, or Arkham City. The story of Arkham Origins is better than those.
We're not trying to get our show canceled, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're the wrong one.
But I'm gonna be honest. I mean, he's not wrong. The biggest problem with the Arkham series was the holding on to the Joker. He shouldn't have been the main villain in every single game. They should have let it go.
Get a break at night, and then you don't get a break at night.
Right. He ends up being. Which the night part was kind of cool because he was in his head, was messing with him, but like he still shouldn't have been the main villain. It should have just been the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow was doing great in Arkham Knight without having, the Prince of Darkness there. And that's the thing that holds Batman back a lot, is they rely too much on him. I mean, like, you got a great cast of villains, man. Just
so many.
It is true though, because the Joker is a legit villain. He is an awesome villain, but man, when you got like Scarecrow, Penguin, even Riddler, and to some degree, and some of that stuff, like you got some Bane, you got Two-Face. Man, you do have some. It's the best cast of villains.
Killer Croc, Poison Ivy. I mean, there's so many, dude. There's so many side characters, like B-level characters too. Like the dude with the little puppet, the full puppet gangster.
Oh, dude, I like that dude.
Yeah, like there's so many cool things like that you don't. Batman just has that rogues gallery, and
he does.
And I love it. But
and the only person who can even match Batman as far as villains is concerned would be Spider-Man. That's it. There's nobody else who can match that, because they're just, and so that was one of the things that I really liked. The Caped Crusader. The new animated Batman shows, they did not rely on the joke. They didn't actually rely on many of the rogue gallery.
And they took their own freedoms. Like we just discussed this on Optic Blast, but Harley Quinn is like a different character in this, but it's cool. Like it's cool.
Her being Asian, not even attached to the Joker. Yeah, it was wild.
Her more being a psychiatrist and getting in people's heads and stuff. Like that's a good arc right there.
That's a good angle.
It's weird though, the woman penguin though, that I don't.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily know if that works, man. It's just and well, I mean, I know it works because we live. Nah, man. I had to catch myself because
I was gonna say you almost went there.
I was gonna say something that being working at GameStop, but anyway, I'm gonna move to the next question before we really do get canceled. So, favorite animated show?
like just not anime, but just animated?
Animated. Yeah, we
Um,
talk. You
They
know,
can be animated
Avatar,
though.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know,
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to say it's gonna be a toss up. It's either Batman the animated series or X-Men, and I guess I'm gonna have to say, that's too tough. It's hard to pick between both of them.
You're saying the old school Batman?
X-Men '97 almost cements X-Men as being the greatest. You know,
that's what I gotta say. If I can count X-Men '97 with X-Men, I'm gonna have to go X-Men because
yeah, okay.
it's responsible for a big part of me. You know, so is Batman. The Spider-Man animated series was good too as a kid, but yeah, I'm gonna have to say X-Men. X-Men animated series. Throw in '97 and gold, you're in.
I hope Marvel does more with that, to be honest. I really hope that they take because they had all those cameos at the end of X-Men '97. It's like, dude, you could take that style of animation and create all sorts of cool shows with it that people would watch.
Well, they talked about it's been thrown in the air since X-Men '97 was so successful. They talked about doing it with Spider-Man, which makes sense.
Yeah, they threw a cameo of him and Mary Jane in there. So
right. Or if you remember, they could do Fantastic Four. They even did the Avengers. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah,
so we got a little question about our guest today. So this brings to the question that brings my man Justin back into the race of this too. Our question of the day. Whew. This one's I kind of know the answer to these questions, but I like to ask them anyway because the Tofu'ers don't know. You know, when you're in the world of gaming or you're role playing, because D&D is a thing. So I mean, yeah, Dungeons and Dragons is a thing. So we ain't gonna leave it out. What is your go-to class, Mr. Longbeard? Start us out. Who's your go-to class?
All right, so I do like to play tanks in most things. If I'm playing some sort of, when I play any MMO, I usually run tank of some sort. I like Dark Knight or Death Knight. Just depends on what you want to do. Something in that realm. I also like the like ninja type classes. So, I like to run those kind of things if I'm doing like a DPS style class. But man, I like the knights and I like those kind of like barbarian type characters in games for sure. I like tanking. I like to be in front of everybody and just like going in guns blazing. 100%.
Powers in the beard. We see it. Mr. Lockman, what you got for us?
So, you're talking like D&D or style like that. I'm usually some sort of sorcerer or wizard, something like that. The guy that's doing the magic, making the magic happen, doing some like long range attacks or some spells to thwart our enemies while Justin's taking all the damage. I'm hitting him with some fireballs or some crazy stuff like that. That's typically my go-to class. I also like support class a lot. So if I'm running a sorcerer, I might be healing a lot of people. And if the only tank I ever ran was Diva in Overwatch, and that was still my like top character. I loved that character. That was such a good tank class to run because you could do a lot of damage too with her. But yeah, so usually I'm like a wizard or support class, something like that. That's typically where I go to. That's my go-to in the world of
respect.
game.
That's good. It is respectful.
Support, bro. Somebody's got to be healing you.
That's wild. The person that's not here, Daddy BoJangles, would be at here. He's a healing class. He loves support classes, dude. That dude always plays the support class.
Virgil, can I guess yours?
Go for it.
Dual wielding rogue of some sort.
Kudos, sir. It's normal not dual wielding. I like to do. I like the sneaking aspect, like the ninja aspect, like you said. But I'm a big bow guy. Like I don't know what it is about running bow and arrows, but that's my thing. So usually my first class is going to be a rogue, and it doesn't matter which game. I think my first class in Diablo is a rogue. The first class that I played in Baldur's Gate 3 was a rogue, and usually I just play rogues. I just like rogues. I like long distance characters. I blame John Woo, director. Maybe that's what it is, dude. I used to love The Killer and Hard Boiled and all that stuff like that. I just thought it was cool. So
yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
Hey man.
Well,
always need that Legolas out there.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, those ranger classes, bro. That's where it's at, dude. Sometimes you get a little wolf with you,
Yeah, it's good.
It's all right, bro.
So that, as you all know, the question of the day brings us into this episode's Tofu Bite. This Tofu Bite today is the rising of the Shield Hero.
Oh yeah.
So we're getting ready to get into it. In this world, a legend has told that 4 heroes, wielders of sword, shield, spear, and bow, will show up and save the world from a soon-to-be destruction. What's wild about this, and this is not even in the write-up, is that they wrote literature, like actual literature, about these 4 heroes. I kind of want to read it because I want to know, like, I guess it tells you how they choose the 4 heroes or the qualifications, but they wrote actual literature that is not anime. It is a book that goes with this series. So I'm interested. I might read it until I go and look and see that it's like $500 per book because I haven't printed it in 6 years. So we'll see.
I hope that it's that book he got in the library, but I hope when you get to the Shield page, you just turn it and there's just nothing there and it's blank. That'll be the best
leave it to your own interpretations.
Yeah.
That would be wild. That would be. I'd be like, hold on, no, or maybe they want you
$500 for this.
That's funny.
So the world, Merrimack, summons the first. Summons our hero. What was his name? Iwatani? What? No. What was his name? Why can I
feel like that sounds correct to me.
Iwatani.
Yeah.
Who becomes our shield hero from a book? You know how wild that is in the world of 2024 that he got something from a book, not an iPad, not a video game. It was a book. Felt like the Page Master from way back in the day.
Yeah.
Unexperienced and kind of paying due to his low offensive stats.
Mm-hmm.
He links up with someone who eventually turns on him and ends up labeling, man, this was rough, labeling him a criminal, not just any criminal, an offender.
Oh, yeah.
Which is wild for some gold, for 200 pieces of gold.
Right.
But so now he must fight to get his reputation back, save the world, and more importantly, level up. Like, this man has no offensive abilities, so he's trying to figure out how to level up.
He's out there slapping pumpkins around.
Oh, bro, the balloons. Hey, you know what? The way he used them, though, was genius. Yeah. I'm not even mad at the way he used them. They were genius, just great. Yeah. A little bit of info on this one. So, if you would have asked me a couple of weeks ago, I would have told you that it is a past anime, but it is currently ongoing as it is 3 seasons, 50 episodes. Season 4 has been announced, and they said we should see it probably next year in 2025. Started June 9th, 2019, ended December 22nd, 2023. It is dubbed and subbed. It is an action, gaming, comedy, fantasy, adventure. Streaming service is Crunchyroll. So there we go. There's a couple of firsts with this particular one, being that there is actual literature, not manga, but actual literature attached to a comic, to an anime, which is wild. And this episode was really long for a first episode. You know, I've watched a lot of animes, but I don't ever remember any anime being an hour long just for a standard normal episode, because I don't expect the show to be this long, but it was a pretty long episode. So that comes in. This is just saying that because this is all going to play into our questions, and we'll start with Mr. Lockman.
Yep,
bro. So you're reading about this. You see these 4 heroes. You get pulled into the book. You become the shield hero. How you feeling right now? Everybody else got these cool weapons. You look on your arm and you're like, oh, okay. How you feeling?
All right, bro. Here's the deal. So I'm going to take a page out of Dylan's book. Listen. He said something in the beginning like, a shield hero, that's just a defensive weapon. bro, I'm a comic book dude. Captain America uses the shield as offensive all the time. So why can't he not do it and use it like? Can he not take that thing and throw it and it come back to him? I don't know. But if I'm gonna be a shield hero, I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna try to shake the game up. Whatever they think a shield hero is gonna be, I'm gonna make the best with what I've got, and I'm gonna make something happen. And I kind of feel like that's where he ends up going in this first episode. He kind of ends up kind of taking his own way with it, and you end up finding some cool stuff that the shield can actually do. When he's making the herbs and stuff in there, changing it up.
I'm gonna be honest. His shield looked like a baseball diamond. Like he was supposed to
It
didn't look like
as it levels up. Does it get bigger? I don't know.
Dude, I'm gonna go ahead. Here's my thing, dude. I'd be pissed. Because everybody, and here's the thing, dude. And it's not the fact that I'm stuck with the shield. Shield, that's fine. Everybody else's weapons look pretty cool in their base form, though. The spear looks epic. The sword looks cool. The one dude's got a bow and arrow. Like you said, it looks like home plate on his arm. It's this itty bitty. It's not even big. It's a tiny little shield.
Yeah.
You could easily miss a block. Yeah, dude. And he's disrespected.
Yeah, they disrespect the king. Like, just didn't even ask him his name. He asked all three of the other ones their name, and he was like, "All right, moving on." He's like, "Wait, yo, king, what about me?"
And then he says his name, and the king still passed him up. Dude, he was just like, "Hey."
Did he just ignore me? Yeah.
The disrespect for the shield, bro.
Yeah,
bro.
You know what really sucked about him having the shield, and so if we get there and we have the shield, I'd probably be if I looked at it the way that it was on his arm, I would have been mad. I'd have to agree with Justin because that thing looked awful, bro. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Because it ain't stopping nothing. Right. Like, unless you have really good reflexes, if somebody's shooting a bow and arrow out there, bro, that shield's not doing. I'm not.
Nah, bro.
Nah, bro. I'm not. But I mean, towards the end of it, if I knew that it could do what it was doing towards the end, that's a different story. The only thing that really sucked about that is the dude couldn't pick up no other weapons. So you can't pick up no other weapons. Like, that was wild. Like, nothing. You can't use anything else in this world. You have to use that shield, which means you have to figure it out. Something has to shake. So, I mean, it's kind of cool from that aspect. I take it, though. I like the Mega Man aspect of where he can dip stuff in to his shield and it changes, and I expect to see some cool things from that. So I take it, man. It's a weapon, so
I mean,
it's the size of Ben 10's watch.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. It's like a really big watch.
Yeah, that's it, dude. It protects his wrist.
You see what Ben 10's watch
can happen, though.
That's true.
This is going to get epic. You know it's got to. Yeah. They have 3 seasons out. Looks like Virgil said a 4th is coming, so
it's true.
He's going to end up being the man.
That shield's going to get crazy.
I do want to say is that I was watching this in English so I could listen to it while I was cooking, and then I switched. I usually like to watch things in Japanese, and it was a totally different show when I switched it to Japanese. And it was also the same part where he switched gears and he wasn't like so gullible with the old girl anymore, and he was like kind of being more of like a hard dude. And then it switched it to Japanese, and he's pretty tough in Japanese. I like that way better.
I watched it in much. I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was great, but I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Good stuff. This has actually been a pretty popular genre for a while when it comes to anime. How does this first episode do you think compares to your Sword Art Onlines or your Overlords or any of those type shows? Justin, what you got?
Yeah, so I think it's a good comparison. I think it falls in line with those animes that you mentioned. Sword Art Online's a little bit older than this show. I mean, and just like every genre, it starts to develop more, and the storytelling gets a little bit more, I guess, better in a lot of ways. Sword Art Online was great, still in my top 5, easy. Mm-hmm. But I do think as a first episode, this right here left a very good impression. I think it has a very strong beginning for sure.
Okay.
100%.
I'll take it. Mr. Lockman, what you got?
Yeah, I agree. So kicking it off, going straight into the episode, I was interested. The video game aspects definitely reminded me of Sword Art, which Sword Art's one of my all-time favorite animes. I liked that a lot, and I actually didn't know. I just let it keep playing, and I started going through episode 2. Now, episode 2 was only 20-something minutes long, so I think that first one's like just real long, like to get you into it, you know. But yeah, first impressions are good. I'm going to keep watching it. My daughter came in and started watching it with me, and so we're gonna just keep watching it. We're gonna go through it. I think it's going to be a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm about to play the devil's advocate.
Of course you do.
I hate this genre of shows.
Mm.
I'm not a particular fan on it, and I hate's a strong word. Let's just say I dislike it, and it's maybe because I don't really have a love for MMOs in general. So these type of like the fairy tales and stuff like that, the ones that I have watched are just kind of I don't know, man. It just never does anything for me. I actually really like this because the last one that we did, the New Gate, boy.
We'll get into that.
The New Gate. I probably wouldn't watch any of the genre, but I'm actually, I like it. I like it a lot. I like the characters. It started pretty strong out the gate.
Virgil, have you watched? And I'm asking this because I'm not sure if I know the answer to this. Have you watched Sword Art or no?
I tried, bro.
Okay, so you didn't like Sword Art either.
Nope.
Oh yeah, if you can't get
it ain't necessarily that I hated Sword Art. I just didn't really get into it. And to be honest, when Sword Art Online, when you all were watching it and it came out, I was working at GameStop and I was a store manager, so I wasn't watching anything. I ain't even
Sure.
Right.
So you know what? I probably should revisit it. Because didn't they just that's Fairy Tail that they released. I did watch some of Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail was okay.
Well, I could see this one being different for you in the sense of like if you don't like the video games come to life genre of anime.
Right.
This one feels light in that. Like, yes, it's there. Yes, like they had that little meeting in the room where they're talking about how hey, it reminds me of this game. Oh, for me, it's this game. And then we find out some other things about them in that way. But outside of that and the menus and the leveling up and stuff like that, like they don't really talk about it as like, oh, they're like, this kind of feels like a video game.
Right.
But it doesn't necessarily lean into the fact that like it is a game.
Like they're trying a game.
Yeah, like where Sword Art's like, we're trapped in this game. Newgate was like, I was in this game and now all of a sudden I'm in the same game world and have currency and all this stuff from the video game. Overlord's like, I was in this game and now I'm still in this game. All those things are very much like game driven.
Right.
Whereas this feels a little more like, hey, we're in this world. None of us really know what's going on, but it reminds us of this thing. And one of the guys is, again, it's like, it's a book. I got here because I was looking at a book.
Yeah, that was wild that the rest of them came from they were playing other games and got sucked in. But he came out of the book, which makes me think that this world may not be as game oriented as it seems.
Sure.
Very true.
And if you notice usually in those type of games, those type of shows, they're not kind of like they were people. Like, in most of those games, they seem like they're characters. They didn't really seem like characters. Like this was a moving world that was going at all times. That's what it seemed like. So, that may add some difference to it. And like I said, with me being a little bit older, which is really weird that I don't like this particular genre, considering that I love games like Dragon Age and I love Baldur's Gate and stuff like that. And, I played Baldur's Gate back in the day, Planescape Torment, those type of things. But I don't know, man. It's just weird. But I enjoyed this first episode. I like the characters. I enjoyed it. I felt that, I really want to see the way that the others came in. Like, I wish they would do an anime based on the other three because they seem kind of terrible. I'm sorry, they didn't seem kind of terrible. They were definitely terrible. So I got questions. And why they got chose. And more so, I would like to see what their abilities of their weapons are because we're finding out some things. So hopefully, we'll see. Speaking of which, this leads into my next question, and we'll have Mr. Lockman answer first. Bro, if you got the business, because he got the business,
Mhm.
like, because he was gullible, he was green, and then they took full advantage of this man. So if you got the business like that in this type of world, would you seek revenge, bro? Like, that's a good question. Or should he seek revenge because he got the business so bad?
Yeah, I mean, what else is he gonna do? Trapped there. He can't go home. He tried it. He said, "Just send me home," and they can't send him home. You know what? I mean, and sometimes success is the best form of revenge.
Yeah,
And
true,
so, you know, I think my prediction for this show is he's gonna go after it. He's gonna train. Right now, he's just trying to survive, but he starts figuring out the shield. I'm thinking he's going to be the strongest one out of all four of them, and I think he's going to end up redeeming himself. This is just my prediction, you know. And I'm thinking that that's going to be his best form of revenge. Is he's going to show them that, you know, he's the man. And that chick was wrong for that, man. I can't believe that. That's that. I wasn't really, honestly, like, the show was okay. I was like, yeah, this is all right. This is typical anime stuff. Okay, yeah. And then that happened, and I was like, oh, okay. Here's how they're going to get me angry. Like, here's how they're going to make me get in this dude's corner and be like, man, that was dirty, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he became, like, once that happened, he basically became a completely different character.
He totally changed his voice. Well, for me, his voice changed as I switched it over to Japanese right at that point. But he got bro got super serious real quick.
Oh yeah.
I guess if somebody accuses you of something like that, though, you know, it's on.
Man, yeah,
Like, pushed all those guards off of him, and they all flew off of him. I thought that was pretty cool. You know,
Yeah, dude.
little hint of power there.
Justin, I mean, I'm pretty much sure that yours isn't going to differ much from his, bro.
Nah, I mean, I agree with that 100%, bro. You know, I think that just going out and doing the thing, and the more we see that the shield can do, like even the picking of the herbs, when it's like, oh, look, this makes me pull high quality herbs, and now I could sell these for silver or whatever. I mean, he's going to start to develop things with this, and yeah, I mean, he was done dirty. Forget those dudes. They're all going to rely heavily on the fact that their weapons are already cool. He's going to have to figure out how cool his weapon can get, you know? And so I think that'll be the biggest difference, is that, you know, they have swords and spears and they're out there slashing the pumpkins around, and they're killing them in no time. He's having to punch them like 80 times, you know, just to get to level 2. And they, you know, so yeah, I think we're going to see his character, you know, succeed. And that will be his revenge, 100%.
Yeah, come from the bottom to the top. That's what he's gonna do, man.
That's right, bro.
And that chick, something's gotta happen to that chick. That was wrong.
Forget that chick.
Yeah, forget her.
So while I agree with you two, I definitely agree with what both of y'all said. I'm throwing hands with the dudes with the spear, because that was the dude that took the we throwing hands, bro.
Yeah.
I don't care. We throwing hands. He's the only person that I would have to throw hands to. I'm not worried about none of the rest of them. Like I said, success is sometimes the greatest revenge. But nah, me and him got to throw hands.
Yeah. And he was wearing his armor too.
Yeah, forget that guy. Bro.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
You know what? Jump him. Let's go.
Yeah, dude. You know what? I changed my answer. Forget that dude.
And her too.
Yeah.
Right. I'm talking on site. We talking Tom and Jerry, bro. If I see y'all, it's on
Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
So I stand by that. And to finish off our last question, you know, we talked about this. This is like it was a 1 hour. It was almost a 1 hour. I don't think it was. I think it was right under. It might have been like 49, between 49.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But was this time, because it was like watching 2 episodes, was it justified? And more so, was it used well? Did y'all think that it had to? Would you think it any less had they pushed it into like 23 to 26 minutes, like typical anime?
So I've thought about this answer, and I think that the length of the first episode was necessary, because if you would have ended it halfway through, like Blake said, we would have had a lot of standard tropes that would have made us all go, okay, there's really nothing fresh and new about this.
Nothing new here. Yeah.
And so we would have gotten through the 23 to 24 minutes. Nothing would have been anything new to any of us. And we'd be like, you know, this was fine. It was okay. Some people would have watched it. some people would have let it go because they've seen it before. But it was the betrayal turn and that second half of this first episode that made me go, okay, I'm going to watch the next several episodes of this to see how this goes. And I think that it had to be that. I feel like there was just not enough done in the first 25 minutes that would have kept us hooked. But that back half, now we're all hooked.
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. That's definitely, I'm definitely on board with that. It totally switched gears halfway through it, and you're like, okay, now I'm invested. Now I want to see, what happens to this dude. And just a heads up to the team, Justin had to get the Dragon Balls together and wish me here because I was training with King Kai when he did. But my alert is telling me I got 10 minutes left until I have to go back and train with King Kai. So just throwing it out there for you guys. Like if I disappear, I'm going back to King Kai. That's where I'm at.
I like it. We're gonna get you there. I agree. You know what? I felt like had we got to that 24-minute mark, it would have been the New Gate all over again. Because remember how we discussed that the New Gate just moved entirely too fast, and it didn't explain. It didn't explain how he finished. He finished the last boss in 2 hits, and they didn't explain any of that, and it just felt super rushed. And if they would have done that with this, it would have been the same thing. Yeah. So I'm definitely glad that it is an hour. It's definitely worth watching. So it's dope.
Yep.
All right. Well, with that being said, our main man, Mr. Lonbeard, is back. So you know what that means. It's time to get this big bro package and go ahead and season this tofu. My guy, welcome back. What you got for us?
Man, it's good to be back. You guys know, seasoning tofu, we give a question out. You have 1 minute or so to answer that question. This first one is specific for Virgil. I know we've talked about the New Gate quite a bit, but is this better, first impression, than the New Gate? I just want to hear some shade thrown at New Gate, and then we can move right along.
So it's as simple as this. First and foremost, first character, way better than the New Gate's character. 2, the shield's better than that little, I don't know what he was doing, his little Power Ranger move that was, not cool to anybody except for him. And it's just a lot more entertaining and definitely better animated than the New Gate. I don't know what y'all seen in the New Gate, but that's one gate that can stay where it is. I plan to watch the rest of this show, but that gate can stay closed. So there we go. That's my thing.
Blake, we'll start with you. Do you have any shield ability predictions? We talked about it being very Mega Man-esque. What do you hope to see? What do you think we'll see out of the shield?
Yeah, bro, I think he's putting everything in there. He's like, somebody throws a fireball at him, absorb it into the shield. Let's see what happens. I think that's a cool ability. I'm curious to see if he's going to go elemental with it. Is he going to, because you put the leaves in there and it did its thing. Can you do fire, water, electricity? What can he do with this thing? I'm thinking very Mega Man, very different, much like abilities are being unlocked with different things he puts in that shield.
So you're saying shooting fireballs?
I'm thinking so, man.
I respect that. Virgil?
Check us out. So I like what he was saying. I do feel the Mega Man abilities, but what I'm thinking he's going to do is he's going to start taking pieces of these enemies that he defeats and pops them into this shield, and his shield turns in. It could even turn into like a little, companion, and then the companion can help set off his DPS, bro. Since he don't have any DPS, the companion can help him do it for it. And the reason why I say that is because the way he was using the orange balloons. I kind of feel like that's something that's going to happen in the future that he's going to figure out.
I think Blake's computer died, bro.
So sad.
Hey, it was fun having him for the first
make it. I know.
long bit of this. We'll bring him back if he comes back in. All right, bro. I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think that they are all from different versions of Japan, as they said? So we know they're sitting in that room together. They're trying to determine who came from where. They're asking each other, okay, currency is called this. This is called president of Japan is this. Do you believe that they're all from different versions of Japan, as they said, different timeline? What do you think is going on?
I really don't know, because they all seem really shady. So I do believe they're from different Japans, but there's something shady about every single one of them, bro. And I don't know, especially the the spear dude. And the first thing that they thought when they found out that they were the 4 heroes, they were like money. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they're kind of lying to some extent, but to some instance, I think they're lying, but there's some truth to it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. I'm thinking there's something with that. Like, I do think that maybe it's different versions of Japan, or maybe these dudes, like you said, maybe there's just more to it. Maybe these dudes are just a part of this world and they're all playing him. I can't tell what's going on.
Right.
They're all against him. They're all against him. It seems
Right.
very weird.
And you would think that the 4 heroes chosen by the book, you would think that they would want to work together.
Yeah.
Well, but then of course they told them like, hey, y'all can't work together because the weapons repel each other.
Yeah.
Which that brings up a whole nother ordeal of, are they gonna have they gonna have to battle each other eventually since they can't work together?
Well, you remember even in the beginning when the other dudes were talking and he was like, man, these guys seem like they are into this. Like they know what's going on. You remember that? Like when they're wheeling and dealing, like they're like, we won't do this for free, right? Like we're going to have some, it's like if I went into a world that I had no idea what was going on and I just wake up and this is where I'm at, bro, I don't know if I'm going to be like, wanting to wheel and deal and be like, what's happening and why am I here? You know what I mean? But these dudes are just like in it.
Like
So,
they
I don't know.
before, right? Like this ain't their first story.
Did seem weird. All right, bro. Here we go. What's mine's trifling level? Now listen, dude. Chick stole from our boy. Not only that, she ran to some other dude. What do you got?
Bro. We
Tofu
talking
rating 1 to 100. What do you got, bro?
We talking harem level 125, buddy. She's wild. Like bro, she stole my man. She stole my man's clothes, dog. She left him in his drawers, dog. She didn't leave nothing. Over 200 gold, bro. That was it. Just a little bit of money. It wasn't even nothing. They didn't want the shield. They just took the expensive robes that he bought and his money. That's it. That's why.
And then she had him buy her the most expensive gear too. Remember that? Oh, dude. She used our boy, bro.
She did. She definitely
like you said,
did.
125, over 9,000, right? Forget that.
But
bro.
like I said, I believe that got something to do with your boy, bro, the spear hero.
Yeah.
That was who she was messing with, so it makes me think that was put into motion.
Yeah.
It was a plan. That's why we got those hands on sight, buddy. Tom and Jerry. All day long.
Guy. Forget that guy. All right, bro. You got any hot takes or final thoughts on this one?
Nah, man. Y'all pretty much covered it. He's gonna be that man. I don't care what you say. He is going to be that man. As far as how this stands up, because even though I don't watch Sword Art Online, man, I know that Sword Art Online has an absolute doozy of when it comes to being a classic, one of like the classic animes. A lot of people talk about Sword Art Online. I would hope to say that this reaches that level, but I don't think we're gonna quite get there, bro. Because even Fairy Tail has its cult following, and it's wild that we're just hearing about this. I don't feel like it quite get there, but I feel like it's gonna be a real fun ride.
Oh yeah, dude, this is a good one. All right, bro, you want to do some tofu ratings? And before we do this, I had to actually look up how to do this before before we came in here.
I gotta think. I mean, from the first episode, man, I think I'm gonna have to go with like an 83, bro.
Nice, 83.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that because if it was the first half, it would probably have been closer to Newgate. But that switch around in the last bit of that episode just makes it so great. And even the way they treated him, like they treated him like he was trash, bro. Like, you're new, you don't know nothing about it, and I liked all of it. So I'm gonna give it an 83.
I gave this thing an 87.
Ooh. Woo.
So I just put our tofu ratings together. It gives us a tofu rating. Now it's only the duo, but it still counts. Gives us a tofu rating of 85.
That's a strong rating, man. It's
That's
definitely
a very strong rating.
And that, y'all hear it, man. We talked about it. More likely, we're probably gonna watch the rest of this. It may not be a full episode watch. We'll discuss it. Full season watch, but we'll discuss it, and we'll probably have some short reviews about this or something like that if we don't do it. So we're gonna watch it. It's good enough to watch. So with a score of 85, can't complain.
Heck no.
Can't complain. It's definitely worth.
Really good first impression.
It did.
I mean, it's a winning first impression. Even with the hour-long episode, it was a win.
I agree, man. So with a score of 85, definitely you should check out The Rising of the Shield Hero. Mm-hmm. So if you like animes that are very similar to this, you want to check out That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. And you know what? I heard I was talking to somebody about that. I want to say I was talking to our former guest, Alex Button, Bouton, and he was like, man, the time I got reincarnated as a slime, they said the main character was awful.
Really?
Made it hard for you to root for that character. And that's crazy because in this one, we're rooting for the character because of the way he got treated. So
yeah, bro.
That's wild. So just take it as what you will if you're watching That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Another one, a little bit older, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Hilarity. There's also Overlord, of course, the great. And to be honest, this sits on top. This is the throne of video game animes, Sword Art Online.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we watched The New Gate. There's also Re:Zero, Starting Life in Another World. And I guess if you want to throw it in there, I don't know why I forgot Fairy Tail, which is definitely in this vein. And I said something else earlier. Oh, I would say this is one that I talked about watching when we started the show is Delicious in the Dungeon.
Oh yeah, dude.
Very similar to that too. And I was a big fan of Delicious in the Dungeon. So check those out.
I feel like That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime, we have had as a comparison on this show an awful lot.
Yeah,
I haven't ever seen it.
It falls into a lot of genres, it seems like. So that's why, and it keeps popping up. So when we look at these animes, I always find out what's similar, what else you should check out if you liked it. And that anime seems to pop up a lot and fill in a lot of places.
Yeah. Means we may have to check that at least episode 1 out on that.
We will. and I'm here for it, especially if we can compare main characters, because that's the thing. The thing that really makes the Rising of the Shield Hero strong is its main character. He's strong, bro. Like
100%.
He was green. He went from green to mean, bro. Like, it was great. And,
that's right.
Character development. So
heck yeah,
check it out. Oh, so normally, this time we would have our last bite. But since Daddy BoJangles is here, we're just gonna kind of squash that section until you get back, just the same way that we did with Justin. Just out of respect, because I like the perspective sections that we have and what the homeboys do. So we like to keep it that way. So with that being said, we got some closing questions. It's been a while, bro. And I know you're on new dad status once again. Are you watching anything currently?
So I don't know if you see my title on my name, but I watched all of DB Super in a week. So now I watched the movies, and I didn't watch all the episodes that took the movies. So I took the movies, watched them, and then moved on. But I watched all of DB Super. Dude, when you have a baby, you just sit there and hold them. And yeah, you talk to him, you hang out, you change the diaper. But I've watched DB Super pretty much the whole time we were in the hospital, and then we got home, made Maggie watch it, so she's like kind of like interested in a weird way to Dragon Ball now. And then we started watching Spy Family because I was like, well, what's another anime that maybe she might not hate? So we started Spy Family, and we're like 15 episodes in that. So I mean, that show's okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, bro. About you?
My guy. So you missed it. I did. I watched this season of. Well, I finished Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, and oh my gosh, man! We're talking about top tier anime seasons of all time, bro. JJK season 2 is definitely up there. That the whole ending of that season and how it went down and the build up, wild. great. And then you missed this one, but we did a couple of weeks ago. We did Go Loser Rangers, and I watched the rest of that.
How many episodes is that?
It's only 12. It's only 12.
Okay.
Expected one thing. The show I really wish they would have played more into the trope that they started, but it kind of took a different turn, but it's still really, really good. And the Rangers being the bad guys. No, they are trash individuals, bro. They are super trash individuals. And then the craziest thing about Go Loser Rangers is what you find out is that the Power Rangers aren't what they seem. So you think that it's the same 5, but in reality, they have there's 6 versions of the Red Ranger. There's one main one who's the Ranger at this time, but there's 6 versions in training to replace that main. It's wild, dude. In the show's wild. And there's so much I want to say. So I'm not going to say, because just in case you want to watch it, it is definitely worth a watch.
Yeah. That's one I wanted to check out, that and the zombie one you guys did while I was gone.
To be honest, we probably should watch all of Zombieland Saga and then have a discussion, being that you're big into music and it's a music theme. It's a music theme anime, bro. And it seems like every episode changes musical themes.
Yeah.
So
I definitely love to.
So we'll get into that. And then I feel like I started something else, but no, I think that's pretty much it. I'm excited about Terminator. I wanted to start that, but I was like, I'll wait. We'll deal with that.
Yeah, that one looks dope.
So, anything you looking forward to?
Dragon Ball Daima.
Man,
I love the Kid Goku is still one of my favorite characters.
Y'all heard it. And we're watching it. We're definitely watching it. Because we're Dragon Ball Z fans here. So what we're discussing, and y'all let us know how y'all feel about it in the comments, is we're that may be the first show that we do a live watching of.
That'd
so instead of us actually, planning out the episode, we watch it in real time together, and then we discuss it as we're watching it in real time, and then we'll discuss it afterwards. And you being the Tofu'ers will also get to talk about it. So y'all let us know if y'all want to see that happening, because it's coming up very soon, and we would like to try it out and see if that's something that would interest you all. Because y'all can watch it with us. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
That
and Sparking Zero, we challenge all of you.
Yeah.
we challenge all of you to take
hands will be thrown in Sparkling Zero. Hands will be thrown. This is happening. All the Tofu, all of the main members of Anime Tofu will have that game. We will be playing on Discord. It's going down. We're
absolutely going down.
It's gonna have fun. So
I heard what they were doing with rank play, and I think it sounds really cool, because they're not balancing the characters. And
it would make sense. It's
right.
Dragon Ball.
So they're not going to balance the characters. And so with rank play, instead of saying, hey, you can just take all of the Saiyans or all these big time power characters, they give you like a allotted amount of points, and every character is going to be worth points, certain amount of points. So you could usually get like one of those top tier guys, and then maybe like a mid tier and a low tier, or a couple mid tier and then a low tier, whatever you want to do. But it'll allow you to build a team based on however many points you get or whatever, which is
so, bro. What you're telling me is that Dragon Ball actually built their team-based fighting rank system off of internet memes, bro, where the memes tell you to take pictures. Oh boy, we live in a different age, buddy. Because
just so you know, Yajirobe is going to be on my team, bro. That's all I'm saying.
That's wild. Yajirobe, you can say he's weak, but he was the one that slashed through Vegeta's armor. Matter of fact, Vegeta even said, "Hey, bro, had I not been paying a lick of attention, you would have killed me."
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So,
well, and then Yajirobe, even in Super, in Future Trunks world, he was like sitting there saving people left and right. So, I mean, he does weird stuff, but he comes through in the clutch when he needs to.
He does. I mean,
yep.
That's wild. So, being that we are Dragon Ball fans here, October gonna be the month of Dragon Ball around here. It's gonna be a whole lot of Dragon Ball. So
Heck yeah, it is.
should be surprised. We might even watch shows. We may make it to where October is dedicated to Dragon Ball since we're getting the new show, and I believe that's when Super starts up again, and we get the new Dragon Ball show. So why not donate it to shows that were inspired by Dragon Ball Z?
Heck yeah, man. I
A
think
lot
it's
of
awesome.
them, man. It's a lot of them.
Yeah, that'd be
So,
awesome.
We'll
love
figure
that.
it out. Y'all let us know. I mean, man, it's been good. I thought there was something that I was excited about coming soon, but we'll talk about it a little bit later. We're getting close to Crunchyroll's fall anime lineup, so we'll discuss a little bit of things in the future that we're looking forward to in some future episodes of Anime Tofu.
Oh, and all our friends. If you have Max, the Boy and the Heron's on there.
Ooh.
If you haven't seen that, that's a great movie for all our
I
friends.
haven't seen it.
I have not seen it.
I'll watch it with my kid.
Yeah.
Also, if you have Max, there is the Rick and Morty anime, which man,
I remember you saying that, dude. Like you were excited for it when we talked about it. Like, what was that, episode 1 or 2? I can't remember.
It's a level of weird.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Rick and Morty's already weird, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
but they took it to a different weird place, huh?
Yeah, Rick and Morty's normal weirdness on top of anime weirdness. Yeah, I don't know,
Too
bro.
much weird.
The alcohols ain't mixing, bro. They ain't mixing. They don't make the perfect blended drink, bro. Like this ain't. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it.
That's
also, you can also watch the Suicide Squad anime, which I did watch the first episode of that, which is pretty interesting, and it's definitely a nice different take.
I've heard some cool things about that, actually.
Yeah, I thought about doing a show about that just because. But if we did that, I definitely would want to have Blake back because it's a DC thing and it's in Batman's world, so it'd be nice to do that with him. So
hey, Blake was an awesome guest. He had to leave us though; his computer died. But
he is. It was great. We appreciate Blake being here. Make sure y'all check out Optic Blast. Matter of fact, make sure you check out all of the things at Hipster Goblin. So that means Nerdy Reads. When's Nerdy Reads new episode release?
we got release every Thursday.
So there you go.
Go check it out.
Wednesdays you got us. Thursdays you got Nerdy Reads, and then every other Friday.
Every other Tuesday is Optic Blast.
So every other Tuesday for Optic Blast.
Hey, we're here for your midweek entertainment.
We are. And entertained you will be because they're all great shows, man. So we definitely want y'all to check them out. With that being said, my friend, like I said, I want to welcome you back once again. Next week's episode, though, before we get into our final words, we've already discussed next week's episode. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Man, I'm excited because next week's episode is something that I actually thought I would never see in anime form. Terminator Zero. Never figured. I've always thought it would make sense for some anime versions of aliens and anime versions of predators. Like it would make sense.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see this. And word on the street is it's the best thing that's happened to Terminator since Terminator 2, bro. That is
that's big right there, bro. That's big time.
But is it though? We've watched all these Terminator movies, bro. They've been
true.
bad. They've been I didn't mind Terminator Salvation.
I was gonna say because Terminator Salvation I felt like wasn't bad at all. Like
it wasn't, but it didn't get finished. Like they didn't take it anywhere.
That's true.
And I also didn't there's a couple of Terminator movies I don't hate. They're not great by any means of shape or form, but I didn't hate them.
Well, it is kind of cool, not to get into a whole other subject, but it is kind of cool to see these animated forms of media kind of saving some of these worlds. Like you got Terminator, you had X-Men 97, even Batman, this new Batman animated series that everybody's, high on right now. It's like, dude, I mean, these things are coming in and they're doing work. They're keeping these IPs like kind of relevant and cool. And I think it's awesome.
And I mean, even it's almost like animation it's hitting the standard, because even without that, I mean, you got I keep thinking about why I can never The Legend of Vox Machina, which is very similar to kind of what we were watching tonight, except it's not in a video game world. Like, it's in a real world space. Like, it's just really good animation. And you're right, it is saving some of these seemingly lost franchises. I can't wait until Nintendo hops on the bandwagon and we start seeing, animes, because they talked about it, animes based on Metroid or animes based on Legend of Zelda. I cannot wait, bro.
That'd be cool.
I would be super excited to see something like that. Even the anime based in, why there's not a Sonic anime, bro? I ain't talking about an animated Sonic, an actual Sonic anime. That would be great. Why does it not exist?
It should. I mean, and here's the thing, like even take X-Men 97 and you take Marvel. Marvel's been stale. People were a little, people were starting to get that movie, that superhero fatigue.
Yep.
And you get X-Men 97 and it just felt like it breathed fresh air into Marvel again for people. At least it did for me. I mean, I just know that I hadn't been hyped about anything Marvel, at least from the cinematic world, for a while until X-Men 97 dropped. And now it's like, whoa, like, man, keep doing this kind of stuff,
You're absolutely 100% correct. And to be honest, for years, I mean, for at least 20 years, since the end of X-Men and since the end of Spider-Man, there were some Spider-Man cartoons in between it that came from Marvel that were pretty good. The Avengers cartoon wasn't too bad, but Marvel has been getting their cheeks clapped when it came to animation compared to DC.
That's true.
DC's movies were great.
That's true.
But DC kind of flipped the script, and like it seems like their animation stuff hasn't even been that good lately. But it was nice to see Marvel listen, and they had to do something, man, because if they were it's hard to bring in the X-Men after you killed them off because you didn't own the rights to them.
Sure.
For the Inhumans, bro. For the Inhumans. That was like 5 good Inhumans characters, bro. The rest of it, trash. But yeah, man, I hope to see more of it. And shout out to all to the young writers and the young artists. Because if you notice, bro, the writers are either our age or younger. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're getting these stories. And the same thing about anime. Somebody pointed out to me that the anime, we're going through like a new renaissance in anime because all the old guys are kind of either retiring or dying off. So the young people are taking over. And that's why our genres have been so mixed and been so interesting, because they're not doing the same thing. So shout out to that, man. Y'all keep that up. Us here at Anime Tofu love all of it. We're going to watch all of it. The same thing with Optic Blast, and the same thing even for Nerdy Reads, even the books. Yeah. Even the artists, even the writers for the books, man, is changing. So man, y'all keep that creativity going, man. We love it. We appreciate it. Creativity makes us better humans in the long run. I don't care what anybody says. And, it makes life a little bit more interesting. So
it does. 100%.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Man, what a great episode. Super long. But actually, you know what? It ain't super long because it matches the super long episode of the anime that we had to watch this.
There you go. You go.
I had to go a little bit longer. So let's go with the final words, my guy. What you got for us?
Before I get into my final word, I just wanted to give a shout out. This was actually an anime that was brought to us by a listener, and that goes by the name Rubbish in the Discord. His name's Ben. Ben, thanks for the recommendation. We appreciate that. And if you guys have any recommendations for us, please let us know. We like that kind of stuff.
Just keep it on the straight and narrow.
Virgil, I appreciate you, man. You got to keep it honest for us.
Keep it on the straight and narrow, bro. No, we ain't getting too weird. Nah, like we got you. We got kids. So
hey, since Robert's not here today, I'm gonna throw shade at his boy. This is a quote for our boy Frieza. It says, "There are 3 things I cannot tolerate: cowardice, bad haircuts, and military insurrection. And it is very unfortunate that our friend Vegeta possesses all 3. Look, dude, Vegeta's Widow's Peak. I really started seeing it in Super, bro. It's something.
let's talk about like the level of petty that Frieza is, bro. Like no tier level of petty. Petty. To be that powerful, to be that petty is wild.
Yeah, bro. He's a petty man. He is petty, dude. Love Frieza and Super though. Really do. One of the best characters in Super.
I'm a fan, and he's a better dad than Goku ever was. Well, at least he was until Super started, and then he started hanging around Goku, and then he just kind of faltered on Trunks. But shout out to the best dad in the whole series, Piccolo. Though
hey, 100%, bro.
It'd be dope if they let Piccolo train Goten. Why not let him?
He should. Nobody else is.
It'd be dope.
He's training with Trunks. Neither one of them know what they're doing.
Yeah, well, they figured out how to go Super Saiyan.
I mean, they did figure that out.
They figured out how to go Super Saiyan 3 and combine. So, bro, they doing all right. I guess.
That's true.
They don't need the rest of them. So
they have the Super Kamikaze Ghost attack. I mean, come on.
I'm sitting here thinking, not to go off topic and make this episode any longer. You know what's weird? So we talk about the Trunks series and we talk about future Trunks. Bro, where was Gotenks at? Because he didn't exist. I guess Goku must have died before he was born, but that's impossible because they're not that far in age from each other. They're maybe like a year from each other? So
you're saying Goten, why was Goten not in the future?
Right, because he ain't dead. He didn't even exist.
Huh.
That's weird. That just popped into my head, dog. Like, why was he not there?
I have to look into that because Gohan was there for a while and Gohan died because Gohan's the one that trained future Trunks.
But
why Gohan was still legit.
But so Goten should have survived and Goten should have been there.
Yeah. I have to look into this, bro. You know what? I'm gonna look into it while you're giving your final words.
Ooh, normally I have these planned out, but this week, man, my week has been kind of crazy. So
I found it, dude.
Okay. Go ahead and tell me because it'll give me moments to put this together.
All right. So the reason why is because Goku died 3 years before the time Goten was to be conceived.
But I thought they weren't that. What's the difference in age? I thought the difference in age between Trunks and Gotenks was like 2 years.
Yeah, so I guess that's why, because I guess what his heart thing. But you remember when they went back, it didn't really change anything,
right? And Gotenks was already born when the heart thing went down, because that was you remember that was when we met the. I thought that was he wasn't around for that because that would have been the Cell series. No, that was after the Cell series. He was born. That was because that was the Buu saga, and he existed already.
No. He died because Future Trunks came during the Cell Saga, and Goten wasn't born yet.
Right, but in Future Trunks' world, had it moved along, Goku didn't die during this. Did Goku? Yeah, he died before the Cell Saga.
He died before the Cell Saga.
Okay.
So he died before the androids even got there. So then Goten wouldn't have been born.
Trunks wasn't born during the Cell Saga. Did Baby Trunks exist?
Hold on.
Did Baby Trunks
now here we go.
Like, I'm trying to think. Did he? Yeah, because they met each other, didn't they? It was one point in time but he was a baby. Like, he was a newborn.
I think so, yeah. During Cell Saga.
But wait a minute. Oh, so we're that makes me think of so many questions. Because now I'm trying to figure out Gotenks' age. Because after the Cell Saga, it's 5, 6 years later? But it had to have been longer than that because Gohan was grown. But no, Gohan was only in high school. He was just big.
Yep. So Trunks did exist during the Cell Saga. Baby Trunks.
But if Gotenks wasn't born, so I guess he was born a couple of years later.
Yeah, so
that would kind of put it right.
Yeah.
That would put it right.
Well, we just had to uncrack the history books.
Man, that was wild. Like I just thought about that. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I appreciate that. I needed that.
All right, now you can do your final words, bro.
What are my final words? You may not like the shield hero because he has a shield. And he may not have the Riz. He don't have the defensive power. But just remember, your mom was a shield hero at one point in time as well. Because she shielded herself from a lot of... Never mind.
Dude, I was like, where are we going right now? I was like, this could go several directions.
Man. That's what happens when you try to write that on the spot. But with that being said, man, this is another episode of Anime Tofu. Make sure y'all go join the Discord. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment, man. Let us know how y'all feeling about this ordeal. And, I mean, give us some animes y'all want us to check out. Give us some movies, because we're going to start moving to movies as well.
Yeah. This was practically a movie.
And we appreciate you all checking us out thus far. Next week, be the return to Daddy BoJangles, and it should be pretty much normal. So,
yeah, the trio's back.
Make sure y'all follow the rest of the Hipster Goblin Media, which includes Nerdy Reads podcast and Optic Blast. We want to thank Blake Lockman once again. We appreciate you all. We'll catch y'all next week.
See ya.